Good night, good night, good night. Did everyone have an awesome day? Is everyone loving this weather like how I'm loving this weather? Let me know, let me know. Listen, I am so looking forward to the holidays. How's everyone doing tonight? We're going to get started and continue with our content series, content and lead generation for your business, content and lead generation for your pages, how to monetize your content, how to get persons following you, how to build and brand your business as an authority. We have been talking these last couple nights about content and lead generation and the connection between the two of them, okay? And so Facebook user says, good night, lady. I'm not sure who it is. It just says Facebook user, but good night to you. So we're going to start with our series of content and lead generation. And the last few nights, we've been talking about the relationship that the two of them are in and why it's important to build influence around your brand and in your brand and how to get booked and paid on social media. And so for those of you that's been tuning into the lives and into the replay, you can feel free in the comments to let me know how this series has been impacting you, how you felt about the information that you've been receiving thus far, and just any comments or feedback that you may have. And tonight we're going to continue the conversation on content and lead generation. And so let me just make sure that everything is set up properly. Oh, hey, Kim. Nice to have you. So let me just make sure that everything is set up properly. And like I said, guys, thank you so much for your feedback. For those of you that watch the replay and you give me your feedback daily, I appreciate you so much. And so we're going to continue talking about content and lead generation, okay? And so considering everything that we have discussed over the last few days, I want you guys to realize that you are going to have to do the work, okay? This world, or what seems like the glamorous world of social media marketing and building a business online, is a world where you have to put in the work. You have to work to build your brand. You have to be ready to go in the trenches to build your brand and to grow your brand, okay? And so how many of you are looking to either, I'm not sure if you're in business, if you're looking to start a business, but how many of you are looking to make an additional $1,000 or $2,000 a month off of your business? If you may have a 9-to-5 right now, because sometimes full-time entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but you may have a 9-to-5 right now and you're like, okay, I'd like to start and grow a business. And I'm like, look, I just need to make an additional $1,000, additional $2,000 a month. I need to get myself ready. I was talking with a client the other day and we were putting together their packages for the next few months. And when we were talking and I was like, look, okay, so this is your plan to make an additional $2,000 a month off of your business every single month. And they were like, oh, wow, that sounds so good. Like they've never pictured themselves making that consistently. And I'm like, yeah, it's just a matter of how you package things, how you put things out there, how you sell your brand. And they for the first time, they're like, I think that I can do this. And so it's all about packaging and making consistent money in your business, consistency and residual income, and setting up the format, setting up the formula, setting up everything the way that it needs to be set up, okay? And so what do you think that you have to do to be consistent in your business? Why do you think? And think about it this way, for persons that have not been investing in their brand, for those of you that have not been investing in your brand, investing in your business, putting in the time, doing everything that you have to do to grow your business and your brand. If you have not been dedicating the time, why are your customers supposed to automatically find you? How are people automatically supposed to know that you sell this service, sell this product? Why are people going to now just pause in their day and be interested or intrigued by what you have to offer? Oh, let me just think about what you're selling. Let me just think, nobody has time for that. I want you to know that you're not on everybody's mind. Nobody has time for that. You have to build the influence behind your brand. You have to put yourself out there. You have to constantly pitch. You have to run the ads. You have to produce the content. You have to do the work. Okay, so one word I have for you tonight, and that word is unleash. Unleash. Unleash, unleash, unleash. You have to be willing to unleash yourself into your business, okay? So it does not matter what you are selling. It could be a tangible product. It could be clothing, shoes, a digital product, an online course. It could be food. It could be catering. It could be anything. But people only purchase when they connect with you on an emotional level. Okay, and I'm not saying they have to get all emotional and sobby about your product, but you have to trigger an emotion. You have to trigger an emotion. When they see what you're selling, an emotion has to be triggered. Okay, and so the mistakes that a lot of us make when we are trying to sell our product is that we sell based on the features and the benefits of the offer, and we sell ourselves short. So we focus on the details of the product, and that has its place. We say, okay, if you purchase this product, it has this particular feature. You'll be able to do this faster. You'll be able to cook a lot faster. You'll spend half the time in the kitchen and all this other stuff. We focus on the features of the product. But what we rarely do is we don't make that emotional connection. Okay, so you have to now make the emotional connection along with stating the features of the product. Okay, so when we do this, we sell ourselves short. There has to be an emotional tie and a connection to the message behind your goods and services. So does purchasing the product make it worth it for the customer? And think about it this way. When you see somebody advertising their makeup services, right? How does it make you feel? You start to think about that event that's coming up, and you're like, look, getting my makeup done by so-and-so is going to make me feel so empowered. I know I'm going to bring it. Oh man, this is going to make me feel so confident because I look good. That's that emotional trigger. Okay? And so does purchasing that product make you feel stress-free? Does purchasing that online course give you the confidence to grow and build your business and scale quickly in your business? What is the emotional connection behind what you are selling? Is that emotional connection coming through in your content, or does your audience feel like, oh, here's another product, here's another product, here's another product, here's another product? No, they have to be able to see themselves in that product or in that service that you're selling, okay? And so Jan T says, advertise consistently, exactly. And so there's always someone that hasn't seen the product and get out of your comfort zone, exactly. There's always someone that has not seen your product or heard about your service yet, and you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to sell, and this is where I'm going with this. You have to sell yourself. You have to sell the things and the emotion and the features that would appeal to you. What did you feel? And a person's always ask, what do you think is the latest things that I can do in marketing? Or what do you think, what is the latest online course that I can take or whatnot? And my answer to that is always, well, what are you enticed by? What would entice you that would entice other people like you? Because remember now, your audience and you share the same interests. Your vibe attracts your tribe. So you share the same interests with your audience. Your audience are attracted to you. They connect with you. You are selling you to your audience. And so the product that you sell, whether it be, and I always use this example because, hey, I'm a weaveaholic. So whether it be weave, whether it be jewelry, whether it be clothes, whether it be shoes, whether it be a gadget, whether it be phones, electronics, cookware, furniture, whatever it is, what is the emotional connection? What is the emotional connection? So, often in real estate, what persons often do is they sell, like if you see a real estate commercial or banks advertising their mortgage rates, they always show this picture of a happy family in a happy home. They're selling that emotional connection, okay? So that's what you have to connect with, okay? So in particular, if you are a service-based business and you cannot forget to sell you, especially if you're service-based. You cannot forget to sell you. And even if you're product-based, and let's just say you're selling food, you cannot forget to sell you, even with your food, because people know you for coming up with these different recipes. People know you for coming up with these different meals, the type of convenience and the love that you put in your food and the convenience that you provide behind your product. You're selling you. You're selling your innovation. So, for example, if I came on here live every night, right? And or let's just say you called me to purchase a marketing service from me or a marketing product, something dealing with marketing and communications, and I was just so drab and boring, or I sounded like a robot. I'm on here every night. I'm sounding like a robot, and I'm trying to teach you strategy. I'm trying to teach you content and lead generation strategies, and I'm just here talking drab, boring. Would you listen to me? Would you listen, or you'd be like, man, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this because she just ain't holding me. But what makes you tune in is a combination between what I'm saying and then a little bit of personality and energy that I'm bringing along with the strategy. So I'm connecting with you. I'm trying to get you to put yourself in my situation, in my shoes. I'm trying to get you to relate to me. I'm trying to get you to see where I'm coming from. You have to bring that connection. And often in my presentations, I always say that a sale is not a sale until 3 things are transferred. During a sale, 3 things have to be transferred. A transfer of clarity. Your offer must be clear. You can't have a bunch of things that you selling at once. A bundle deal is not a bunch of things that you selling at once. Okay? Because you would have come into your market with one product, and then after they buy into that product, you realize, hey, I could bundle this together because this audience need this. They've proven to me that they need this. So you have this bundle deal. That's not what I'm talking about. You cannot come into your market with a bunch of stuff. So you transfer clarity, you transfer energy, and you transfer trust. When those 3 things are transferred, people will automatically buy from you. When you look at your market, you have 3 types of audiences in your market. You have a cold audience, you have a warm audience, and you have a hot audience. So cold people are people that have never heard from you before. They don't know who you are. They don't know you exist. They don't know anything about you. Your warm audiences are people that may have heard about you. They know who you are. They would have heard something that you would have promoted or seen something that you would promoted, but they've never bought from you. And then your hot audience are people that are currently buying from you and will continue to buy from you. So those are the 3 types of audience that you have. You have cold, you have warm, and you have hot. So people that are in your hot audience, you don't have to try and sell as hard to. So normally, it's so much harder to get a cold audience, right? Because you have to warm those people up, and that's where the emotional connection comes in. You have to get those people warm, okay? And so normally, it's not hard to sell someone that's already hot, because you've already taken them through that journey. They may have seen you on social media. They would have joined your email list. They heard from you. They heard about you. And then, bam, they bought from you. Because they're always seeing you. They bought from you. Now they're hot. So the goal with your content is to move people from cold to warm to hot. That's that emotion. And this is why you have to be consistent. You can't come on the scene and then pop off the scene. You can't say, hey, I'm here this week, and then nobody sees you for 2 weeks, and then you come back on the 4th week and be like, hey, I'm here. Y'all ready to buy my product yet? Mm-hmm. Nobody has time for inconsistency. Let me tell y'all something. People are not playing with you in this season. And what I mean by that is people are watching their dollars more carefully than they ever have before. So if you see somebody release $10 to you, $20 to you, $30 to you for a product, you have to sell that product as if You know that, look, this is going to give you the confidence. This is going to provide you with the self-esteem that you need. This is going to make your outfit look good. This is going to make your meals be so much hot and fresher and better. This is going to improve your lifestyle. You have to build that emotional connection. People do not have time to spend money with you when you're not building that emotional connection. They don't have time to give their money to little frivolous things like they may have had in the past. So this is what you have to be aware of, okay? So everyone wants to sell their product or service, but nobody wants to sell themselves. Everybody wants somebody to buy from them, but nobody wants to sell themselves. Everybody wants to sell their product or service, but nobody wants to sell themselves. I'm saying that over and over and over again. You have to be transparent with your content. You have to be transparent with your lead generation. If I say, let's just say I run an ad today, and I say, in fact, I have an ad running now, and I'm like, okay, if you are a fitness trainer, if you're in the service-based industry, if you're a coach, whatever you are, whoever you are, sign up to attend these free trainings where I teach you how to turn your clicks into clients. Are you tired of launching products or launching initiatives and not getting people to buy in? Do you struggle with your sales process after you get persons to come to take a phone call with you? Are you ready for your yes? And so when people hear those pain points, they say, wow, let me sign up. That sounds a lot like me. And so Keandra is saying a lot of time we don't want people to see our vulnerability. And that's so true. That is so true. We want to play strong and powerful. And I'll tell you this, the best of us on social media are in the trenches and have bad days sometimes. Why do we have bad days? Because our life depends on our brands. Our life depends on the business. Our life depends on the product. We are trying to build a legacy. We're trying to build a business that's going to stay around, not for a couple months, not for a couple years. And we're trying to do all of this in the midst of a recession, in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of all of these things. And it can be done. It can be done. You have people that are still making and meeting their targets, okay? So know that it can be done. You have to sell yourself. You have to make that connection with your audience. You have to tell your audience the things that you struggle with because you're going to connect with them. If it's a product that you're selling, you have to show yourself enjoying that product, or you have to show other people living their best life in that product, out to dinner wearing that product, out to dinner eating that product. You have to build that emotional connection. You have to show the pictures of the people wearing those lashes and looking lovely. You have to show the picture of the lady with the long weave or in a nice dress out on a date, or in all of her confidence and all of her glory sitting at the table. You have to show these things. You have to build that emotional connection with your audience, okay? So the thing that you need to do to get yourself in alignment, are you guys understanding me? Are you guys understanding me tonight? Because it's all about unleashing, okay? Unleashing yourself into your brand, immersing yourself and your energy into your brand and into your business. This is a business. You have to buy into your business before anyone else can buy into your business. And that is just the short and long of it, okay? So you have to always, always, always keep that in mind. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk about tonight, and it looks like I lost Facebook. It looks like I lost Facebook. 1 second. Facebook, can you hear me? Facebook, can you hear me? 1 second. Facebook, can you hear me? Let me know. Okay, put a 1 in the chat. Okay, so we're back on with Facebook. So let me continue. You have to build that emotional connection with your brand. You have to do that. So the thing about everything is you have to get into alignment. You have to get into alignment. All right. You have to get yourself into alignment. You are not going to achieve the 6 figures that you want to achieve in business, or get the course off the ground that you want to get off the ground, or get the business, the store, the salon. You're not going to get anything off the ground until you bring yourself into alignment. If you are serving from the wrong place, you are not going to attract the audience that you need to attract and keep. You have to be serving from the right place. You have to be in alignment. You cannot be trying to produce content and build a business and generate leads off of an empty place. You have to be in alignment. And this is what I'm trying to say, okay? So you're not in business to chase money. And this is going to sound weird. You're not in business to chase money, but stick with me here, right? You are in business to empower persons. And it can be as simple. I keep going back to, if you're selling clothes, if you have a particular line of clothes that you sell, if you're selling clothes, if you're selling jewelry, you're selling an electronic device, whatever you're selling, you are in business to empower people. Empower people, meaning let them picture themselves using that product. Let them picture the convenience that this product brings to them, their lives. If you're selling waist trainers, you got to show how beautiful that person looks in this outfit now that they have on this waist trainer. So you are in business to empower people. If you keep that at the forefront, then you'll make your money. So focus on the art of empowerment through your product or service, and people will naturally begin to inquire how they can do business with you once they read your content. So if you focus on empowering people, once persons read your content, and once people see your content and they see your videos, they see your blog, they see your commercials, they see whatever you put out there, they now begin to picture themselves, and they now relate to your content and what you're putting out there. And so you are now empowering them. You have now empowered them. Your product or service is hitting them emotionally. Okay, your product or service is hitting them emotionally, and you're showing them what they're missing out on. And so when you go into business that's pulling from an area that you know nothing about, and hear me when I say this, hear me Instagram, hear me Facebook. When you go into a business that you're pulling, okay, so Instagram, let me make sure you're there. Okay, so when you go into a business and you're pulling from an area that you know, when you go into a business and you're pulling from a place that you know nothing about, meaning you just jumped into this to make money. You just jumped into this to make a few dollars. You're not trying to build. You're not trying to grow. You're not trying to invest in yourself. You're not trying to show your audience that you are here for them and your product and your service is here from them. You are pulling from a place of scarcity and lack. You are trying to convince others about a product or service that you yourself have not experienced the joys or the results or the solutions from. And people can tell when you're trying to pull one over on them. You are actually pulling from a place of scarcity and a place of a lack, okay? So let me give you an example, right? So if I say I want to do an online course, right? There are several things that I can teach on from an online course. And it's exactly, Kendra, it's hard to sustain because it's not coming from a true and an honest place. You're not in alignment. And so there are several things that I can teach on, and this is a part of my personal testimony. So I can teach on things like how to hold down a 9-to-5 and build your side hustle at the same time. I can teach on how to build a 6-figure business in the middle of a recession, because it's happened to me twice, and that's a part of my testimony for those of you that have heard my testimony with Hurricane Dorian and then now with COVID-19. How to get 5 new clients every week through lead generation and content creation. I have lived those things That's my life. Those are things that keep me up at night. Those are things that I think about when I'm driving. Those are things that take up my prayer time. So I've lived those things. What is the story behind your business that makes you a good fit for your business and your brand? Why you? And if you cannot tap into that, and like I shared last night, if you can't break your content into layers, what that is telling me is either you don't have enough experience or you need to go and do your research and get some training and you yourself be empowered. So you need to now invest in courses. You need to now invest in some time, okay? Authenticity, exactly. So you have to be at a place in life where you live, you eat, you think, and you breathe your business. If you are not checking for your business, why should your customers check for your business? If you are not checking for your business, why should your customers check for your business? Okay? So I've taken, and this is tapping into my personal testimony again, and this is not bragging, but I want to let you guys know that you have to be willing to invest in your brand. So I've registered and I've taken courses that are $2,500, $500, up to $10,000 in the last 2 years. I've signed up for these things. I've registered for these things. I put my money where my mouth is. Have you done that with your industry? Have you done the research on what the people in your industry like? Do you know what their shortfalls are? Do you know what they're struggling with? Do you know how to meet their needs, or are you just putting up a facade? Are you just coming with the fluff? Oh yeah, I have a company, I have a business. I'm coming with the fluff. This looks pretty. This is what everybody's doing right now. This is the trend. Have you lived what you're trying to teach, what you're trying to bring the solution and resolution with? So I've paid coaches hundreds of dollars and still paying coaches money to grow my business and to grow my brand so I can be the best business owner and marketing and lead generation professional that I can be. And I've done this every month because it's not about the fluff for me. This is my life. My life depends on it. I depend on it. My family depends on it. This is who I am. And so this has to be your story. This has to be the backbone of your business. And I remember, and I'll give you this story. I'll have another transparent moment here with you guys tonight on being able to do whatever it takes for your business. And I'm going into this because this has to come through in your content. This is how you build your emotional connection with your audience, when you build your layers of content. So I remember when I used to go on interviews for jobs, right? And my potential employer would ask me, why should we choose you? Why you? Why you, Shekia? Why you? And I was in Shekia Danielle. Danielle is my middle name, by the way. I was Shekia Albury, looking for a brand management or a marketing position. Why you? Why should we choose you? And I used to say, my answer always was, choose me because I can sit down in an office with heels, jewelry, new weave, looking nice, showing up for when the rep comes to town. I can build that brand plan from January to December. I can budget accordingly. I could break down the numbers as granular as needed every month. I can show the return on investment. I can do all of these nice things that it requires to represent this brand the way it's supposed to be represented. On the flip side, and on the other side, I know when to take off my heels and put on some flats, and when to roll up my sleeves and go down in the trenches with a customer to get my item approved for a promotion inside of a store. I know when I need to go and meet with the customer and talk with them eye to eye, negotiate with them, show them the value. I know when I need to do all of this. So I was not only showing the fluffy side, the pretty side, the good side, but look, I know what needs to be done, and I can connect with these customers on the road. And that's actually a term in sales and marketing, on the road. Can you go on the road and make this product work and make this service work? I sure can. I sure can. Just let me know. Let me know what it needs to be done. I need to sell $250,000 worth of products every month. $250,000 worth of units every month. I can do that. So I knew the office side of things and I knew the road side of things. And I'm like, look, I'm your girl because of that. And so that was me building that emotional connection. And when you're building your business, I don't care how small you think your business may be. And I keep saying it could be a clothing business, a jewelry business, a health and wellness business, whatever type of business it is. You have to be willing to be transparent, be authentic, like one of our viewers said tonight. You have to be willing to do those things to build those content layers. You have to show the backside. What made you start your business? Tell your brand story in your content. Have days where you talk about what made you build your business, where you are now because of your business, because of the work that you've put in. Invite persons to come on this journey with you. Do different things like that, okay? Show persons what their life could be like with your product or with your service. And so there's a target and there's an audience, and you can connect with that audience, okay? So people don't have time to play with you anymore, and they're not joking anymore, and they're careful about where they spend their coins. And so that's me tonight. I didn't take up too much of your time. For those of you that, hold on, Facebook said, this person is from Ghana. Okay, so that's kind of long. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this later. But all I'm saying is that your content, what you put out there. Again, let's look at, we talked about last night, the difference between the credible and the influence and those who hold great influence, right? They are one and the same because they would have put together great content. Influencers are influencers, and by no means am I trying to be a so-called influencer. I have nothing against influencers, but I'm not trying to be one. I'm just using them as an example. Influencers and those who are credible in business are the way they are and have those labels simply because they have put the content out there to build their brand. They have put the information out there. You have to be the influence that you want to be because of your brand. So for those of you, like I said last night, there's a content planning workshop coming up on December 12th. And for those of you that would like to register for that workshop, whether you're on here live or watching the replay, feel free to visit the link in my bio on Instagram, and I'll paste the link in the comments on Facebook. And feel free to register. It's only $39. It's a $39 investment. It's not a $400 investment. It's not a $2,500 investment. But we're going to plan out your content for the next 3 months. We're going to plan out your content for the next 3 months in business. And so if you're interested in investing so that you can start off the new year with the right content, knowing how to build your layers, knowing how to build your pillars, knowing how to connect with your audience so that you can make the sale, then this workshop is for you. It's $39, and it's $39 up until the end of the week. I haven't decided if I'm going to raise the price next week, but it's $39 up until the end of the week. And like I said, the link is in my bio, and for those on Facebook, I'll place the link in the content, okay? So make that investment in yourself. You invest in your brand so others can invest in you and have no problem making the sale. Don't be out here in these streets looking kind of crazy. But thank you guys for joining me tonight as always. I appreciate your time. I know that you could be doing 1,000 things at once. Thank you, Keandra, for your comments and for your participation tonight. I love it. Thank you so much. And listen, bring back some of that cool weather with you, okay? Whenever you come back, bring back some of that cool weather with you. And walking in favor, thank you so much for attending. And for those of you on Facebook, thank you so much for attending as well. And so I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, okay? Have a great night and look out for my emails. Click the link and still join my email list as well. So have a great night, guys.